For today's nonfiction read aloud, I have the book From Seed to Plant by Gail Gibbons and published by Scholastic Books. When you look at the cover, it might make you think of a fictional story, one that the author made up. Gail Gibbons, though, has written many nonfiction books for children. She picks topics that she wants to give children information about and teach them all kinds of facts. As we read this book, look for some nonfiction features that Gail Gibbons uses to help teach us. From Seed to Plant by Gail Gibbons. Most plants make seeds. A seed contains the beginning of a new plant. Notice how she's labeled the picture so we know what each plant is. Seeds are different shapes, sizes, and colors. All seeds grow into the same kind of plant that made them. So a sunflower seed will grow into a sunflower plant like it came from, and an acorn will grow into an oak tree like it came from. Many plants grow flowers. Flowers are where most seeds begin. Notice it says most. That means not all seeds begin in flowers. Again, she's labeled each flower in the picture. A flower is made up of many parts. Notice what Gail Gibbons put now in the book to help teach us about those parts. She made a diagram. Some of the parts of the flower you probably already know, the stem and the petal. At the top of the stem, those little leaves are the sepal. Then, if we go to the middle of the flower, in the center of the flower is the pistil. So this is the pistil. The sticky part at the top of the pistil is the stigma. Then the part of the flower around the pistil, are the stamens. Stamens make yellow powder called pollen. Maybe you've gotten that on your nose before when you've smelled a flower. And down here at the bottom of the pistil are tiny egg cells called ovules. Before a seed can begin to grow, a grain of pollen from the stamen must land on the stigma at the top of the pistil of a flower like itself. This is called pollination. There's that word. Pollination happens in different ways. Often, wind blows pollen from flower to flower. You might notice some yellow powder pollen on cars now because the wind's blowing it around as things are blooming in the spring. Bees, other insects, and hummingbirds help pollinate too. While they visit flowers for their sweet juice called nectar, pollen rubs onto their bodies. If they carry the pollen to another flower where it comes off, then they carry the pollen to another flower where it comes off onto its pistil. So here you can see the bee has gone from one flower to another, and if the pollen that is stuck on its body lands on the flower in the pistil, then they have helped pollinate it. The same thing with hummingbirds. Remember, though, it has to go onto the same kind of flower. If a pollen grain from a flower lands on the pistil of the same kind of flower, it grows a long tube through the pistil into an ovule. This is the beginning of a seed. The seeds grow inside the flower, even as the flower begins to die. As the seeds become bigger, a fruit or pod grows around them. The fruit or pod protects the seeds. When the fruit or pod ripens, it breaks open. The seeds are ready to become new plants. Some seeds fall to the ground around the base of the plant where they will grow. Some pods or fruits open and the seeds pop out. Sometimes when birds eat berries, they drop the seeds. Other seeds fall into streams, ponds, rivers, or the ocean. There they travel on the water until they stick to dirt along a shore. The wind scatters seeds. Some seeds have fluff on them that lets them float to the ground like tiny parachutes. Others have wings that spin as they fall. I bet you've seen some of these seeds floating around lately. Animals help scatter seeds too. They hide acorns and nuts in the ground. Some seeds have hooks that stick to the fur of animals or people's clothes. Later, they drop off onto the ground. A flower bed or vegetable garden is beautiful. Seeds are planted to grow in the gardens. The seeds come in small envelopes or boxes. Directions explain how to plant the seeds and care for the plants. The beginning of a plant is curled up inside each seed. The food is stored inside the seed too. The seed has a seed coat on the outside to protect it. So just like we wear a coat to protect us in the winter, each seed has a coat to protect it because inside is the beginning of a new plant. A seed will not sprout until certain things happen. First, it must be on or in the soil. Then it needs rain to soak the seed and soften its seed coat. When the sun shines and warms the ground, the seed coat breaks open and the seed begins to grow. This is called germination. A root grows down into the soil. The root takes in water and minerals from the soil for food. So there's that word, germination. That means that the seed is beginning to grow. Notice how the root is growing down. Up grows a shoot. Green leaves grow up from the shoot toward the sun. The plant grows bigger and bigger. The leaves make food for the plant from the water and minerals in the soil, the sunlight and the air all around the plant. Finally, the plant is full grown. Buds on the plant open into flowers where new seeds will grow. And there's a bud. We've heard that word in other books. Many of the foods people eat are seeds, fruits, and pods. They're full of nutrition, vitamins, and minerals, and they are tasty too. From a seed to plant project. So here it tells you how you can raise a bean plant. We saw that in one of the books earlier this year. If you're able to get some bean seeds, this one shows you how if you plant them in a jar and you put the seed right along the jar, you can watch it grow. If you want to do this, you can pause it here. And once they begin to grow, you can put them in a pot, put them outside, and then eat your own beans at the end of the summer. Here at the end are some interesting facts Remember, we read about this one in a book yesterday and about the plants that eat some insects. So if you want to read those facts, I will zoom it in for you a little. You can pause it here and read those yourself.